Hi, this is Fred Glick. Recently, members of the National Association of Independent Housing Professionals went to Washington, D.C., where they met with Richard Cordray, the brand new director of the CFPB. They also had a meeting at the United States Chamber of Commerce. Here are some reactions to both of those meetings.
I'm Peter Gallo. I'm Vice President of the National Association of Independent Housing Professionals. I'm a certified appraiser and work out of Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm also licensed in South Carolina and New York.
I'm Carol Gardner. I am the President and owner of Lending Network Incorporated. I am also the President of the Illinois Association of Mortgage Professionals, and it's been an honor to be here today.
I'm Brian Benjamin. I own Two River Mortgage in New Jersey. I am the Government Affairs Chair of NAIHP, and I am also the Executive Director of NJPMO.
I'm Marc Savitt. I'm President of NAIHP. I'm also the President of the Mortgage Center based in Martinsburg, West Virginia. We just celebrated our 27th year. I've been a mortgage broker for just over 30 years. We had a meeting with the CFPB, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. It was the first meeting. We actually had the meeting with the director himself, the new director, Richard Cordray. This was the first meeting that he had with a National Trade Association. There was about 4 or 5 other people in the room, non-bank staffers. It was a great meeting. We got a lot accomplished. It was an hour-long meeting. We actually had the director there for just over 40 minutes. And we could tell by some of the questions that he answered, he actually understands the issues that we were there to talk about.
They were looking into the yellow comp, and they did understand many of our issues.
They weren't allowed to go into details because they are in review on the yellow comp rule. And there's a quiet period until it comes out of the quiet period. They can't really go into further details on it, but it is being reviewed.
And they did ask us questions, so the fact that they're asking us questions shows that they're interested in what we have to say, and we could tell again by the questions they were asking, they do have a knowledge of these issues.
I know they're doing the new good faith until redo. They give you any more insight that we wouldn't know? Have they come up with a date they're going to do it by? Have they decided on a product? Or
they said that we didn't go into too much detail on it, but they did say that that it was by law required to be completed and implemented by this coming July.
All the information that you've been saving on your computers in regards to AMCs, all the little contracts, all the little fee lists, and that information is in the hands of the director, and he got a good look at all of it. And they have several packets. All you appraisers out there who have been sending us stuff, it's in the director's hands.
As everybody knows, mortgage brokers have been bashed over the past several years, but particularly in the past month to a month and a half by some government officials, including the President of the United States. We, NAIHP, went to the White House. We had a meeting with the White House. We had several follow-up telephone conversations with them. We provided a lot of documentation to show them that the issues that they were talking about did not involve mortgage brokers. They actually involved finance companies and banks. And although they're having some difficulty coming up with language for a retraction, they did tell us that it would not happen again, and as evidenced by the State of the Union address Tuesday night by the President. He went from payday lenders and usually hits mortgage brokers after that, and he said mortgage lenders. And we did have confirmation from the White House that the policymakers did speak to those that write the speech and did get them to change that in the speech.
that's awesome.
Yeah, and I think one of the other things that were really, for me, was very interesting is that since they are in charge of the NMLS, they are going to look into maybe differentiating between a registered NMLS number and a licensee, which could be a big selling point for the mortgage broker.
In the past, and I've dealt with agencies probably for 12 to 15 years in this town, working on various government affairs issues, and when you have an issue that may overlap into another agency, sometimes you don't always get cooperation from one of those agencies. One may understand your viewpoint, may be working with you on it, but you may not get the cooperation of the second one, and the agency that's cooperating with you may not get other cooperation. Case in point, the yellow comp rule. The Federal Reserve Board finalized that rule, and up until about 2 weeks before that rule was finalized, HUD had not been briefed by the Federal Reserve Board on what exactly was involved with that rule. So there's a perfect example. So by working with the CFPB, everybody is under one roof, and I think that is a great thing to have with that agency, because when you have an issue, you go to them, all the people you need to talk to about solving that problem are right there within the one agency.
You also went to the U.S. Chamber of Commerce today for a meeting. Can you just go over briefly what that was all about?
That meeting involved a memo of understanding between the Federal Trade Commission and the CFPB. If they're working on, one or more of them is working on an investigation, they will notify the other agency, and they will work together in a spirit of cooperation, which makes it less expensive, of course, for the government through their investigations. And it makes it less expensive for industry as well, because they're not dealing with two different agencies and two sets of expenses, they're only dealing with one. I'd like to thank everybody for being here today. It's amazing what we all can do when the industry is not fragmented, and we're out there, we're pushing for all small business housing professionals. Our association is growing, and we're getting very strong. We are recognized in Washington, as evidenced by that we were the first trade association that was invited to the CFPB to meet with the new director.
Thanks for watching this update from NAIHP.